vision board creation, looking at success pattern systems, purpose and life design, personal development, goal realization in the areas of life visioning, also looking at life planning study on the principles of vision color psychology and also vision mission statement creation. And to get certified as a vision board coach is kind of no different to perhaps being studying as a CPA and then having to practice a certain amount of hours before you go out and practice your gift and share the knowledge with others. And so as far as I'm aware, the Vision Board Institute is the only institute that actually certifies its vision board coaches. And earlier this year, I was actually awarded a special award for my contribution towards vision internationally, which was pretty exciting. And that award was by the Vision Board Institute.
Which is fantastic. So Myrna, like that really establishes your credibility that it's not, and as I found out, it's not just about sticking some pictures up on a board. There's a lot more to it than doing that. So Myrna, tell us about, so we've got another one of your workshops coming up next Saturday, the 31st of March, and we've scheduled a workshop pretty much the last Saturday in every month between now and the rest of the year. But tell us about what happens in one of your workshops and why someone should come and attend.
Okay. Well, I think first of all, if I can start off with by saying what doesn't happen in the workshop.
Yes, yeah. It's always a good place to start with doing that. Yes.
I have had people walk into the workshop and they've had all their pictures cut out and they've said, here I am, I'm just here to stick my pictures on the board. Or they've come along with their laptop and they're expecting to go on their laptop and start sourcing pictures for all the different areas of their lives. And then they are pleasantly surprised because it's not about, my workshops is not about licking and sticking. That just isn't what it's all about. My workshops is about using a vision board as a life planning tool. And very often, and well, most times people who actually attend the workshop already know what it is that they want to do, but they need a confirmation and they also need to be unblocked. And some of them are not aware of what is actually blocking them. And so that's where the system that I have, that I take people through, is so powerful because I have about an 85% success rate with people finding clarity after spending time in the workshops. And also depending on how they entered the workshops, because some people come in and they might have a feeling of shame, and that might be something that's holding them back from succeeding. Others might lack confidence, and after completing the workshop, they step into more confidence. Others might just lack clarity because they need to redesign their lives, or they need to repurpose it, or think of another career. Most of the people that attend my workshops are between the ages of 35 to 55. And that's the group where I'm getting the 85% result from. So the process that I use is very different, I believe, from what anyone else does, because I take everyone through an acronym, and that acronym is called GRABS. And so I get people to look at how to be able to practice gratitude, different areas of gratitude, looking at how to be able to release and receive in their lives, how to be able to acknowledge and ask for things in their lives, how to be able to bring up their belief in themselves, and also then, once they have set a vision board, that vision board and the successes that they have is not just for them, teaching them how to be able to actually share what it is that they achieve. And there are some other steps that I take people through as well. One of them is called, my favorite one is called the choo-choo train, and that's really when everything happens. I mean, that's just where the excitement comes, because that's really when lives are being changed and a clarity actually comes from that particular exercise. Most people at the end of it are rather surprised at what it is that I do, how I do it. And some of them are quite skeptical when they first start, but at the end of it, they are very pleasantly surprised, and they leave with a board that they can really, that is truly coming from the authentic self.
And I can attest to that, having said, I think, how many did we did? 7 workshops or something during January, and to see people coming in who are blocked in some way. And there's a reason why we've called these workshops Unlock Your Vision, because it is that setting free. And often people between the ages of 35 to 55, like they're going through a change in life. You know, it's like they need fresh vision to move them forward. And the process, the grabs process that you take them through has been fantastic in doing that. Myrna, tell me, like, we had a lot of testimonies out of the workshops at the start of the year. And, you know, what I appreciate you is it's not just about coming to the workshop and then that's the end of it. You keep following up, you keep helping them in doing that. Tell me, recall some of the stories, some of the testimonies, some of the great things that happened.
Yeah, sometimes when people leave the workshop, they need some time to process what is actually the workshop. So the follow-up is always very interesting. And what happens is, I guess the gift that I've really been given is the ability to be able to look at a picture and read things into a picture that other people can't.
Yes.
And so
I can attest to that. But I watched you looking at these vision boards and pointing out the different things. Now, you know, you do it in an amazing way in doing that. So I want to just say, yes, affirm that you do have that gift. It's incredible.
Yeah. And so when I sometimes point out to them some of the things, because I get them to send me their vision boards after they've left the workshop, they send it to me, and then we have a chat and a follow-up afterwards. And often there are things on the board that they themselves don't actually understand. And then when I give an insight into what it is that I'm seeing and what I believe, and God's really giving me the gift to discern what is actually on the board, most times it's extremely, they are surprised, and they are very, I guess it takes them to another level. I don't believe that just attending the workshop is not the end of it. You know, my greatest desire after the workshop is also to be able to build a community where there is a cooperation that happens with all the like-minded people that were in the workshop, because in the end, what they've actually designed, they're going to need other people around them for some of the things that they want to achieve. They're going to need other people that were sitting in that room that actually have the gifts that they can actually share with others as well. Now, some of the you know, I'm just blown away by some of the results of what happens. You know, I mean, I get totally and utterly blown away. You know, I think of somebody who was so confused when she did the workshop. I mean, it was just like she was in a complete fog. What had happened was that a lot of the work that she had been doing for years had dried up, and she just didn't know where she needed to turn. She just didn't know what it is that she needed to do. And that board was so clear on the direction that she needed to take that she started actually developing a plan for a new business. And when she started sharing that plan of a new business with her friends, she's already picking up clients. They're like, can you just get this over and done with and started, because we love what it is you're going to do, and we want to be a part of it.
Yes.
Other people have stepped out of some health challenges that they've had. They've actually taken some action in their area of their health, and they are now experiencing much better health as a result of having done the workshop. I mean, so much so that one of my clients who was actually in the workshop, who had suffered for years and years on literally, you know, always feeling tired, is actually going to be climbing the Great Wall of China later in this year. I mean, that is dramatic.
Yeah.
You know, someone that used to fall asleep 2 or 3 times a day, now setting a goal, not a goal, it's in stone. She's going to, climb the Great Wall of China. Others have, who've been held back in raising money for charities or raising money for their for any other activities that they may be doing were held back, they have stepped in and have found the courage to go to people to ask them, hey, can you help me with this charity that I'm forming? And I've had the courage and to step into that. I could be here all day just sharing some of the testimonies. I really, really could. You know, people that have started businesses, people that have changed their careers, people that have improved their lives, others that have just needed that encouragement and have just needed that confirmation that what they've been thinking about is that they're in the right direction. Others have walked in in the workshop thinking that this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to build a business. But then in the workshop, they've discovered that what they really had to do was to spend more time with their families. Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I think I remember reading one of the testimonies about, you know, I thought this was all about my business, but it turned out to be all about me and about my family. And I think that's one of the things with the vision board is it actually, the process you take people through, it brings clarity, as like you mentioned, it brings guidance and direction, and it really does unlock people from where they are. And half the time they don't really, you know, they've got a number of options before them, but the clarity that comes, and it really sets them on the right path to move forward, which is just fantastic. And actually, I can't turn my computer around and see, but my vision board that I did at the beginning of the year is right in front of me now. So every day when I come and sit in my office, like I see that, and it's funny. I was, you know, we've had some change in circumstances with some things haven't gone the way so far this year that I would have liked, and we've had some grief and disappointment in that. But it's amazing. I was reflecting yesterday. One of the words that came up on mine was rising from the ashes, and you know, we have had a very close friend pass away, and I just thought, oh, you know, God, you don't want us to keep us stuck here. You want us to rise from this. And it's been very comforting actually to look at the words on it, because mine was mainly words, not pictures, which was very interesting for me.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
But as I keep looking at my own vision board, and I'm thinking, you know, and even another one, risky business, you know, where I've got a contract that I need to sign. Actually, today I was looking at the contract and thinking, do I really sign this because it's really going to step out? And then I look at the words risky business. You know, like you've got to take a risk in doing that. And there's some stuff I can do to mitigate that risk, but it's going to require me to step out. And so I look at this and think, you know, it's amazing. Even other words like on mine, and I know I'm talking about mine, but like it says, say it out loud. It says breakthrough. It says, you know, it's time to shine. League of Champions, the future is in your hands. So all these words have been very encouraging to me so far this year. And as we've heard the testimony from others who have done this, it has really set them and unlocked that vision from them. So I want to say thank you again for what you've, for me, but I see that this is, there is so much to these workshops, and it's really hard to explain to people. Say, hey,
you know, it's really challenging. It's really challenging to explain to people what actually happens in the workshop, because no workshop is the same.
No.
Because everybody comes with their own challenges and their own blocks. And I'm yet to say that there's been a workshop where it's been the same. It just hasn't. It just hasn't.
And I can attest to that. Like, and one of the things I appreciate about you, Myrna, is your prophetic gifting in that every time you've got a workshop coming up, you know, you really do seek God as to what to do in the workshops, and you know, you kind of know in advance that this workshop's going to be about this, and it's amazing how that's how it turns out. So it's really, you know, like I love to see you operating in that gift and seeing that, and you're meeting the needs of those that are in the room, which is what's very key for every workshop as well. So one of the key things I wanted to highlight during this time is the importance of vision. And I was sharing a little quote with you before we got on. I said by a guy called Peter Vidmar. It says the visualization is not a substitute for hard work and dedication, but if you add it to your training regimen, whether in sports, business, or your personal relationships, you will prepare your mind for success, which is the first step in achieving all your goals and dreams. And I thought that's so true for like what you're doing is actually you are preparing people's minds for success because you're helping them to visualize this is what's going on. And from all the stuff that we're learning now about neuroscience, it's actually visualization comes first. The subconscious mind comes before the conscious. So when people like your choo-choo train exercise, which you probably won't go into too much detail about, but I actually think that choo-choo train exercise is stepping into people's subconscious as they're going through and bringing out and saying, actually, you're bringing out what is already there in them and you're releasing them to a whole new level, which is quite a unique gifting that you have to do.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing, a lot of people don't realize that vision boarding isn't just about creating what it is that you want for your future, that you can actually use a vision board as a solution tool.
Yes. So tell us a bit more about this, because I found this, I ended up doing 3 vision boards in January, which is a lot when I had the privilege of doing that. But I noticed that I chose a specific area that I wanted to develop this year. And I found answers to that I wouldn't have thought about before. So tell us a bit more about that, because a lot of people have problems or things they're focusing on and don't know how to solve that problem.
Yeah, because in a lot of cases what happens is that people tend to think of a vision board as something that they do every year, and it's not an annual event. You know,
Yes.
once you actually understand the process, and once you actually given some special tools, you can actually be consistently creating vision boards, and you can be using that as a solution tool. So if I can just share with you, it's probably about 2.5 years now, I had 2 major instances happen. Well, 3 major things happening in my life. One was I woke up one morning and I had lost the use of my legs. So my L4 and my L5 disc, I had an L4 and L5 disc protrusion. And I actually used the vision boarding and my faith to actually heal. And it was amazing the words that came up during that time. It was really comforting. I just knew from the words and the pictures that I'd been drawn to doing the vision board exercise that I was going to be able to walk again. Even though the doctors were telling me something different, that I needed to have an operation, I just knew that I was going to be walking again. And then I found myself in hospital for about 3 months when I actually had chickenpox virus, which traveled up my spine, got into my brain. The virus got in my brain, dropped into my right eye. And I was blind for a bit of that time. And I think the doctors had never, ever encountered anything like me, like a person like me before in their hospital.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You are fairly unique, Myrna.
but I just blew them away, because the first thing I asked a girlfriend of mine is, I said, can you bring me 3 magazines, please? And so she put magazines in. And then the next thing, there was a board, because I was in a room on my own. There was a board, and I would write out these words every single day,
Yeah.
And I created a board whilst I was in the hospital, and they were just like, what's going on here?
Yes. Yes.
Every day when the doctor came to visit me, his eyes would first go to the board to see what was happening,
Yes.
They obviously haven't encountered. So if there's anything that anyone can take away, just watching this live stream today, is just to understand how powerful our mind is.
Yes.
How powerful it is with the pictures, whether they're negative pictures that we hold or whether they are positive pictures that we hold. It takes the same amount of energy to look at those negative pictures as it does to take the positive pictures. And we are affected by two things. We're affected by the pictures that we see every day, and we're also affected by the words that are spoken over us every single day.
And I am learning more and more, Myrna. We are the ones who put those pictures in our mind, or we allow others to put those pictures in our mind.
Yes.
And then actually stepping out and saying, you know what? No, now I'm going to move forward and say, so for me, keeping the vision boards before me this is it. Like this is what I sense that, God's got for this year. I'm going to grab hold of it and move forward with it, no matter what comes our way. And hey, there's a lot of ups and downs in life.
I was just about to say, Wes, doing a vision board doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to go just according to plan and the pictures you're going to see.
Yes.
The pictures help you to give you strength at the time of difficulty.
Yes.
The words help you to give you strength in the time of difficulty. And none of us, absolutely none of us, actually go through life where we don't go through challenges, where we're not hurt, where people don't deceive us, where words aren't spoken, over us. It's where what we thought would happen wouldn't happen. What we have to do is we need to hold on to what the end is in mind, what is the end is in mind, and that some of the steps that we're taking to get there can actually be lessons that we have to learn.
Yes.
They can teach us how to have more strength. They can give us more resilience. They can make us more forgiving, teach us how to be more forgiving, both of ourselves and also of others. There's a whole lot of lessons that can come along the way.
Yeah.
He's preparing us for what is actually on the board too.
Yeah. So no, and I think that's I think that there's a lot of wisdom in what you're saying there, Myrna. Well, we probably should bring this to a close, but so if people are, our next workshop is on Saturday the 31st of March, and then if you go to, you'll see the link underneath the video. You can go there and you'll see all the dates for the videos for the rest of the year, for the workshops for the rest of the year. And I think this is one of the things with it too, Myrna, is that you may come at the start of the year to do a workshop to really set things up for the year, but throughout the year to come back, because it could be you want to do a vision board on finances or health or on your specific business or specific idea. So there's a whole, and actually some of the testimonies from people who did the workshop went home and did a vision board for pretty much every area of their life and sent us through, which is so encouraging to see as well in doing that.
It looks a bit like a museum for one of them.
Yeah. You do that, yeah, which is quite amazing. But it just, like, to me, what's encouraging about that is it sparks something in people, and it really releases them to a whole new level and takes them. I'm going to say a bold statement. It takes them from darkness into light, and that's really what you do.
Because a lot of people do actually arrive there a bit fogged out.
Yeah.
They're a bit foggy, and the fact that we spend that time together, it's quite a long time that we spend together. Most people don't actually give themselves the luxury of sitting down there and actually doing that, spending that time so that they can take care of what it is that they want for their future. Most people don't take that time out. They think it's a luxury taking that time out to design what it is that they want.
Yeah. I think that's some of the feedback too, was that I've set this time aside for me. Because particularly like if you're a parent or you're a boss, like everyone is at you all the time. You can't escape. But this is 4 hours of, actually this is focusing on you. This is, what's God saying to you? It's what's the vision in your heart to come out. And it's also taking that time to have a look and say, there's some things that are blocking me here, and you take them through those blockages and see them removed as well. So it's it's okay. There's this old song, And I sing it quite really. It's me, oh God, standing in the need of prayer. You know, sometimes you just say, you know what? It's me. I need to take time out and I need to spend some time on me and to do that. And I think that's what the workshops are all about. Do that. And it's not about being selfish. It's about you having the reservoir to give out of, and for clarity to come.
You can't actually serve from an empty cup, Wes.
Yes.
So you have to fill up your cup. If you want to serve, you have to fill up your cup.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true. Well, are there any final words, Myrna, you want to say to people?
I think the final words that I'd like to say is that just be open that the whole world is a vision board.
Yeah.
Now, once we step out of our front door, there's a vision. There's the vision of the trees, the flies, the butterflies, the birds. It's all around us. Sometimes what happens, though, is that we don't see all the messages that are given to us because we're walking around with a clouded mind. We're walking around worrying about things. We're walking around being very focused on ourselves, that we're not noticing this whole vision board that is around us, how God's really speaking to us. It could be a movie that we see. It could be a poem that we read. It could be a billboard on a bus, you know. It could be something that someone says to us. It could be a picture that we see. It could be something we listen to on the radio. It's just to be aware of everything around us, because there's always messages that are given to us as to where it is that we need to step into. And God uses different things for different people. All we've got to be is we just have to be aware. That's all.
No, thank you. That's a very good reminder. The world is a vision board. There's so much to see. We take the time to open up and see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Myrna. I look forward to doing these workshops with you throughout the rest of the year. And if you'd like to book in, the link will be underneath this today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wes. And one last word, it is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. A lot of laughter, a lot of joy.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, Wes. Thank you. Bye.